Hello, young design heads. My name is Argadeep Ghosh, and I'm an assistant professor from World University of Design. So, today we are going to look at three things in this video, starting with what is a problem worth solving? Now, you have heard this word many times problems. Problems tend to describe an issue which is troubling us in one way or the other. But in design process, this is a very important factor to know what is the problem faced by the users. So how would you understand what are the basic problems faced by your user? You should start with empathizing with your user. Empathy is a very important tool for any design process. When we are empathizing with your users, you consider each of their feedback and try to understand their views about your product or application or website or any sort of other product and try to understand what problem they are facing. It could be a operational issue, it could be a issue related to the usage, it could be a issue related their understanding level, and so on and so forth. And when you empathize with the user, you only listen to them without judging and try to solve their issues with your design solutions. Now, let's consider you have a problem with your application that you are using for your classes. Let's consider you are unable to open or send the notes on that platform. So you have a situation here. Now, if you try to understand the problem from different user, you will get a lot of different insights, a lot of different feedbacks, a lot of different issues faced by them. But in this period, you will also interview many people. Now, when you interview these people, you will find one problem which is prominent and which is repeating. So, when you try to understand from a user's point of view, you will find a pattern. And when you find a pattern, you will have a problem which is very prominent and reoccurring in that design. Let's consider this a problem of sending notes is common. Then there could be problems related to sound, there could be problem related to giving current feedback, straightforward feedback or live feedback. It could be issue related to presentation of the video or sound. So there are a lot of insight that you will research, you will find. But are you going to solve each and every single problem? No. You have to narrow it down. You have to have a good understanding what are the prominent problems that you are going to solve. So for that, you have to understand uh, that you cannot solve every problem, but you have to have a specific target or goal. How to achieve that? That brings me to my second point, where we are identifying the problem worth solving. Now, you should be asking all these questions that I'm going to mention when you are designing something. Who is experiencing the problem? Who are these users? Who are the owners of this product, this application? What is the problem? People who are getting this problem, what manner of the problem is, in what category it is falling, so on and so forth. When does the problem occurs? Is it during the meetings? Is it during the submission time of your notes, and so on and so forth, depending upon the problem statement or the platform or the application, and it can vary according to the situations. Where is the problem? The problem is in the process or in the application, or at certain point these users are facing problem. Then why does this problem even exist? So you have to ask all these questions, and you have to keep asking till you have lot of insights to continue with and bring a problem statement which is worthy enough to solve. Now, we are going to understand how to frame a problem statement. So if you go by the definition, you will find that a problem statement is a concise description of the problem that needs to be solved. It is helpful scoping device focusing the design team on the problem it needs to explore and subsequently solve. Now you have a broad way of understanding a different problems, but now the challenge is how to narrow it down. So when you research, when you empathize with the user, when you try to listen to them, note down all their problems, and note down the important problem that relates to your application, your software, or any kind of product that you are designing, and matching it with the real time application. Now, there is a very famous term called wicked problem. Wicked problems are those problems which cannot be solved because they have a lot of constraints. Let's say there is a constraint related to technology. That technology is not yet developed or underdeveloped. Maybe in next 5 years, that technology that can solve the current problem that you are finding in your application or your product can be solved, but it will take some time. So you cannot solve it right then. You can probably wait for the technology, or you can always prepare a future proofing for your product. Wherever the technology is available, you can adapt to it. Another way to understand a wicked problem is that the learning curve. Learning curve varies according to age groups. Suppose you are a smart kid, you are able to learn, but if it goes to senior people who are aged, their understanding level and your understanding level will be different. So if there is a complex system of understanding and there are a lot of users in this category, you cannot solve it right away. You can wait. You can wait for them to learn this in a slow way, but again, that depends upon the circumstances of the problem. Now, let's take some example of the problem statement, how a problem statement can be formed. So this is an example. Users of a newspaper application often export content from the app rather than sharing the content through the app. This is a problem because target audience are less likely to know that the content came from that particular application, leading to lower conversion rate. So conversion rate is people getting to know about the application that other person on the other end is using. This is also a problem for application users, as exporting content is time consuming and could lead to a decrease in app usage. Now, to take another example, if you have seen the Gmail's login policies or login system right now, you will see if you are logging from any other device, you can sync your phone with the common email ID and you will get a verification code. So you just have to click the code on your phone, and without even typing the password, you can actually log in. So the problem was understood by the Google team and they have sorted out with a very interesting feature. So in your design journey, you should also look for creating some amazing ideas to solve the problems, and after understanding the problem with proper vision and proper guideline, you will be able to solve many issues faced by the user. Thank you and keep designing.